It was a bit of a slow process at first until I met someone who put me in touch with Randy Rhoads. And it kind of all started to click together, you know. When I first met Randy Rhoads, I was out of my face. And he came in about this big, this thin, in high-heeled shoes. But then I heard him play, and I just went... Oh, me. And that was it.
As soon as he found Randy, it was like night and day. He was alive again. Randy, a breath of fresh air. Funny, ambitious, just a great guy.
I knew instinctively that he was something extra special. He was like a gift from God. We worked so well together. Randy and I were like a team, you know. One thing that he gave to me was hope. He gave me a reason for carrying on. He had patience with me, which was great, Paul, and he was very good to work with, you know. He'd pull the best out of you, you know. We had a lot of fun.
I mean, it was just so much fun. And Randy was so funny and naughty, and it was just like every day was a new adventure.
It's a great feeling to have success with the albums. That's what you all make a record for. It was just a magic time.
So we went into arenas, they were selling out. We had this huge stage set designed that was like a castle.
Diary of a Madman, it was the best stage set I've ever worked on. It's so cool. It was like this Gothic archway thing. Something crazy happened every night on that tour. But the craziest thing happening in Des Moines, Iowa. Remember, we did a gig in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we were driving from Knoxville, Tennessee to Orlando, Florida to do a gig with Foreigner.
And we must have got there about noon, and Ozzy and I stayed on the bus. Ozzy and I were sleeping in the back of the bus, and we got woken up by this huge, huge blast.
Boom! In the background, there's like a big stately home blazing. I can't understand what's going on. It's like being in a nightmare, you know.
Rudy, our bass player, was like screaming, "Get off the bus, get off the bus."
And we get out of the bus, and we had no idea still what was going on.
I see the tour manager down on his knees crying, "Randy, Rachel." I'm like, they go like that, and then there's part of the airplane sticking up through the house.
I realized that they had been on a plane, and the plane had crashed 1 or 2 inches lower. It would have crashed into the bus, and we would have blown up right there.
I don't know what the hell happened, but it killed them, but everybody died on the plane.
Randy Rhoads, the 25-year-old lead guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne's group, was killed in a plane crash this morning, along with 2 other people. The pilot of the plane, also Rachel Youngblood, the group's hairdresser. Ozzy Osbourne himself was in the tour bus when one of the plane's wings clipped it. But Ozzy escaped injury, we understand. 25-year-old Randy Rhoads is dead today.
Randy was a gift from God for Ozzy. I mean, he was everything to Ozzy.
I lost a dear friend in my life, and I miss him terribly.
I just bathed my wounds with alcohol and drugs.
After the crash, I would say that it was a bigger job for Sharon to keep Ozzy, not only from drinking or doing drugs, but to doing damage to himself.
Ozzy still, to this day, feels guilty. Yeah, if only I was awake, I would never have let him get on that plane. And, you know, it's something that Ozzy lives with.
Every single show was a wake for our friend.
I say goodbye to romance, yeah. Goodbye to friends.
And the day that Randy Rhoads died was a day a part of me died, man. Don't forget that, you know? It just gets kind of weird.